Hello, it's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee. Okay, today I'm going to make a blouse. I know, how simple is that? It's not even got sleeves. No, it's one of them. I'm going to make it out of lining, but it is going to be slightly complicated to explain because it's going to have a drape down the front and it's going to have a drape down there. Now this is double-sided, so we've got nice soft lines, and this is not seamed, this is curved up, so it's all one piece. Okay, the back's quite simple, it's just one layer, so just do the back. Alrighty, so how am I going to get my 4 layers of fabric to go in my right angles? Now I've already cut it out and I've already lined it out. This is because, well, I get confused. So I have my bit of fabric here. I'm folding it over. I am going to fold this corner over and I'm going to fold this corner over. And then I am going to bring them up together so that this piece of material is just one sheet. I'm going to seam these two together and then I'm going to fold it again, and I am literally going to cut the top out of this bit of material. So I've got, what, 8 layers there. Now you need to make sure that that's enough for the shoulder, and then we're coming down with the armpit, and then that's all joined together. So that's what I'm going to do, and I've got it all laid out in literally this fashion. So I now need to work out a way of keeping it in the right place so that I can sew it. Okay, now pins is the obvious answer. So I am going to mark this notch here and this, and if you're very clever, and some people are, you could do these 2 seams need to be sewn together, so they're the red pins, and then you could grab your pin reel and go purple. These 2 seams need to be sewn together, so they're purple. Because once we unfold this, it's going to make no sense, because we literally have, sorry, I'm just trying to grab 2 pins. These 2 folds need to be sewn together, and they're going to be green. Because what I'm going to be looking at in a moment is that. So how confusing is that? I need these 2 armholes together, that's easy enough. I don't know where the other armholes are, so, oh, they're all the way up there, so yeah, it's going to be nice and confusing, So we now have our fabric cut, and we now have it marked with pins. So I need right side to right side, and I know that the pins are pointing in the right direction. So I'm going to take this piece of fabric, get rid of the pins, and sew to the mark. The amount of times I've done that today. But every time I come to the sewing machine, it's set up to do a buttonhole. I always remember to change the thread before I go downstairs. So it's all set up for my next sew. lovely. Now I do have a little square nook here, so I hope you can see that, and that's to tell me that I've come to the end. So I know that's one line sewn, and this is the inside of the front fold. Now, as you know, satin is very hard to sew and it does gather slightly, and as you can see, it's sort of gathering, but I'm okay with that because that's going to be part of the overall pattern of the thing. Okay, so when it does that, it usually means the tension on your top is wrong. So let's just adjust it. I might need to cut the thread and rethread it. So let's just get that done. And yeah, I don't know, you know, it's up to you. Do you want to sew satin? Well, yes. So I am going to accept that it's hard to sew. There's no two ways about it, is it? And there we go. Just check that everything's in the right place. Okie dokie, sorry about that. I literally managed to fill up my memory card, which is something I'm quite proud of. Okay, so, yeah, rethreaded the machine, picking up stitches from where I left off. And all the scruffy bits I'm going to actually overlock and tuck them all in. So now I need to find two purple ones, and I need them shiny side to shiny side, so I can get rid of those two pins. Now I'm hoping once I've sewn the sleeves together that it'll make much more sense, because it really was just a square before, with weird bits in. Okay. And it does feel like we're in the realms of fabric engineer at the moment. So that's those two done. And now all I need to do is find some more pins. There's one and there's one. So shiny side to shiny side. Ooh, get that later. And there we are. So, now I need to turn this the right side round. And we need the seamed fold on the inside. Skipping rope. So there we are. We are now in a position to do the next bit with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that out over there. I'm just going to grab the back panel, and then we are literally just hemming that back panel. Now, I have so many projects on the go that I actually am not 100% sure where I put that back panel, because I believe that's the back panel to my waistcoat. to go with this one. Yeah. Oh, that is a shame, isn't it? I'm losing the plot. Okay, so the same again, really. I need my armholes sewn in. So once, twice. That's really up to you. You can use, I have got like a hemming foot that sort of rolls it and then tucks it all in. But I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to do the folding method because it will give it a bit more rigidity. I'm making sure that I'm sewing on the wrong side of the fabric rather than the shiny side. And I'm just adjusting my seam every few inches or so. So that's one armhole done. Now really, yeah, it is going to take shape quite quickly. We've completely done the front now, and those raw edges we're going to literally sew in to the side of this. I'm just doing the back now. The back of the neck. And then the other arm, and then the bottom. So again, I've got some puckering, not enough to worry about. And I'll place that in there. And adjust it every so often. Now what I'm doing is I adjust it to a piece that curves, and then I sew to my finger or my thumb. Because if I just sewed straight, then I would be probably in the middle of the garment. There we go. I'm curving that round. Because this is a salvage, rather than turning it, I'm just sewing it over. But I'm making sure all these dots are on the wrong side, as it were, rather than the right side. Okay. So that's that. I can get rid of this sewing machine and get my overlocker. Now the only reason I'm using my overlocker, because I could do it with French seams, it's just literally, I'm well aware of how untidy this is. There doesn't seem any way that I could get my seams nice. So what I've got here is the bottom, and I'm going to sew some of the sides. So this is going to be my front. So what I need to do is I need to sew the side of my back with my front side in. Now I need the two armpits to join together, and I'm going to hold that firmly. You can use pins and sew with this sewing machine. Okay. I'm just going to re-tuck that because it's slipped, which does happen. So if I place it under, I can then knock that down and then away I go. And if at first I don't succeed, I'm going to have another go. So I need that tucked in. I need my V to join, and then I need my, get it round the right way. So this time I'm holding it very firmly, and there we go. I've got it in, I've got it started. I'm now taking the V that goes across and making sure that's out of the way, and then I'm layering my panels together and making sure that my seams of my armpits join up. Now let's just see if the machine can cope with that. It seems to have an issue with not cutting the silk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that out of the way, because what it's going to do is it's going to sew into the seam any bits that aren't cut. So let's trim off the excess. Another technical term here, and I'm making sure that I don't actually cut the thread of the overlocker as well. So quite lazy really. Alright, away I go, and what I can do is double check that I have all my seams in the right place and just sew over it again. Okay, so same again. Actually, I'm going to follow it round, that'll be easier. So, I have my back, I have my front. I'm going to scrooge this out. So that it's in the right place. I'm going to lay my two armholes together, and I'm going to cut and sew off this end. So lovely. I'm going to follow the background to my other armhole, as it were, and then I'm going to find my next armhole. Whew. It's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? So that's my bottom. I need it curved round at the front. Just going to pull that through slightly, and I have my another armhole. Now, if I had a brain, or generally a second, what I would do is I would sew a piece of ribbon in between these two, just so that it doesn't droop too much at the back. But I think what I'm going to do, because I have no idea of the measurements that I would need to do that, is I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to give the garment a good shake, and then I'm going to decide the length of the ribbon, because that's the only thing that's confusing. So I have the bottom of my other armhole on the folded satin, and I have my back, and then all I need to do is I need to join these two side pieces up. Now we're going to use that other technical term that you'll hear me use. We're going to give it a good shake, and then fingers crossed it should all hold together and everything should be where it should be. I missed that seam. I'm just going to go over because I didn't catch that seam. It happens. There's no two ways about it. It's just lack of concentration and ability. Alrighty. So let's have a look and see what we've done. So the advantage of putting a ribbon in between the two back pieces is that when you get it out of the wardrobe to wear, you don't have this. Which way round is it? So there we are. We have the finished blouse, and I will take a piece of ribbon, and it really needs to be quite a fine ribbon, or a piece of embroidery thread, because I've only got thick ribbon. And we are going to measure our own neck, or whoever's this garment's for, and then join these two together so that when you're wearing it, it will flop down. Okay, thank you so much for watching. My name's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee, and honestly, I'm going to watch this video and then see if I've actually managed to make any sense, okay? Alright, thank you ever so much. Okay, hello there. So there we are, all done and dusted and all my ends finished. So you can see the beautiful shiny material, and we have this draping front panel. So I know, very hard to describe, not that hard to make once we know how. Thank you so much for watching.